on YouTube? Happy Easter 2025, man. Let's kick it off at 6:45 in the morning. Little white zombie right there. And the LRP Z.28R. Badass nitro engine. Yes, this is an X-Tex carb, but it's different. It's different than the rest of them. So let me get everything done here. I'm going to show you what we got. I'm going to finish watching Rob Zombie here, and we're going to kick ass on this rebuild. See you in a minute. Alright, so from Rob Zombie to Earl Moorhead. What's up, Earl? So let's go over this, take a look at it real quick. It's the LRP Z.28R. It's specifically built for the truggy, but we run it in everything. So we're going to get it replaced. This is an X-Tech carb right here. It's different than the rest though. The throat is smaller than your typical X-Tech carb. Let's take a look. Then we got one up here in the graveyard. This one's actually brand new. But this is your typical X-Tech carb that comes on your LRP 32 and 28s. Not the Z.28, but this one. This is a Spec 3. So here's your carburetor here. You can't put an insert in it or anything like that. This X-Tech carb, you can put an insert. We run the 9mm Venturi in there for the most air intake, no restrictions. And let's take a look at it. The head button looks good. Burn room, or the burn chamber right there. No real issues, no pre-detonation. When you see a lot of pitting and stuff on the top of these right here, on top of the burn room right there, that's when you know you're getting a lot of pre-detonation, which can destroy the head button. So take a look at this. Obviously we got some dirt or something in there. And I don't remember if I replaced this once already or not, but we're going to replace it again. The sleeve looks okay. The pinch in this thing is still good. I think we just got some dirt in there. Let's take a look. Yeah, so the pinch in this sleeve is still good, but I wouldn't use it because I don't want to risk you know, there might be some slag or some scratches in there from the dirt. I think I caught it pretty quick when it happened. This engine still runs, but we're going to replace it anyway. So the only difference is because it was modified by RCR, some of the cuts on the sleeve aren't going to be there. But remember, when you're doing a drag mod for the most power, most fuel consumption, you're not trying to save fuel. A lot of times racers will have these modified here for their fuel consumption, right? Longer run times, better flow, things like that. So the majority of your modification and your increased power is going to come from the crank timing. So this crank has been modified by Lance over at RCR. You can see the cuts right there. He filled it and he polished it and ported it out there on the end there. So it's a lot different. It's a beautiful crank. When I first got it back, it was extremely polished. Some of that's wore over time. Little bit of corrosion on the inside of the window there, but this is where all your power comes from. Same thing with the Traxxas TRX 3.3. Lance makes a modified crank for the TRX 3.3, and that's what we did. It's a great drop-in power addition to your nitro engine. So cleaned everything out, made sure there was no issues in there. Bearings are good. It's a great engine, man. People down the LRP, but the LRP is a good engine back in the day. Now the newer ones, the 32s and all that, they're different. They're not built as well as this one. So give me a few minutes and we will go ahead and get this thing back together. Try not to lose these wrist pins. Alright, so here's the box for this one. Z.28R Spec 3 Truggy, 4.59 nitro engine, rear exhaust, slide carburetor, 5G shaft, 8+1 ports. So here's your RCR modified. I don't even know what the cost of this was when it was new. Typical LRP stuff. Dasuki Yoshikiro. LRP does make some good glow plugs too. Alright, head's okay. We got a few little nicks on it. This was brand new. I bought it and I sent it straight to Lance over at RCR. He modified and sent it back to me. So let's go ahead and get this thing put back together.
This would be acceptable for me. This one is not. It's just a hard stop. That one does okay. So I think sand is already built up in there. It can't be the brakes because there's nothing in there. Well, I mean, it is the brake calipers are already packed with sand. And there's that bearing with that again. But that's what's going on with the Punko. But we're going to continue to rip it. None of the arms look broken yet. But I didn't even run it that hard. But that's why I like the T-Max. Like I said, holiday weekend.
Just get it in there. Make sure it gets down in the groove. Go. All right, there's one. There we go. Get in there. Just make sure it seats in there good. So I'm going to clean this up, make sure there's nothing on it. Then we're going to oil it up a little bit and we'll get her back in the engine. So that's the hardest part of this rebuild, is getting those clips in there. Making sure nothing comes out, because if one of these pops out in there, you're going to be in a world of hurt. I know, it's happened to me before. Alright, let me get the rest of this in and we'll get going. Alright, so let's get the crank in there, get a little more oil.
So you don't need flowers to rip and sand. Just need a four-wheel drive.
Alright, now we're going to drop this in, just like so. Ah. There we go. A little oil in there. Butte. Alright, now I'm going to drop this down the bottom dead center. We're going to oil this up just a little bit. There we go. Exhaust port to the rear.
And that's why, I'm hoping the Punko gets to the point where I can just come out here and rip with my friends.
Pretty tight tolerance there.
It's definitely a blast.
Bring the piston up to meet it a little bit. Get it in the hoe. Start going down. Now you want to line up with the pin. I don't know if you see that pin right there, and there's a notch right there. You want to make sure that that drops right down in there. Turn it just a tad. Alright, there we go. We got her down in the pin. A little more oil in there. Alright, we'll get her fired up, and then we're going to break her in. This is going to have to be broken in again. Alright, let's keep going. So basically at this point, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to bring the top up. We'll go ahead and get our back plate on there. Make sure you bring that. It's recessed so it won't damage the skirt, but just get in the habit of bringing your piston up at the top dead center. No, you know, I see a lot of people sealing their engines up, things like that. You don't need none of that, man. Just make sure your seals are good, your O-rings, and you'll be fine. Don't over tighten them. No gorilla paw. You don't need no Loctite. Not on this. Not on your head bolts. Alright. Bring her down. Get our head button on. So no orientation on this. Can go any way. Alright, just like so. Go ahead and get our head on. So always look, you got a air hole right there in the middle. You want to put it whichever the way the vehicle is going forward and backwards, forward motion. That way the air will go through there and cool it. I don't know if y'all can see it, but there's a hole in the middle. So we want to put this thing on there like so.
Slide the thing around. That's the best way with no front brakes.
Alright, let me get these all screwed in. We'll get the carburetor on. We'll get this thing fired up later on. And there we go. Got the head on. Listen. Oh. Alright, get the carb on. And we'll get ready to fire this thing up, man. I appreciate y'all being here. Give me a little bit. Try and fire this thing up. Maybe after we go Easter egg hunting. See y'all later. Peace. Get it, girl. Get them all. Hell yeah. Alright. right, people, that's going to be it for Easter Sunday. I will fire this thing up here in a couple of days. We'll throw that in a video. I got to get it ready to go. I don't know if I'm going to fire it up in the break-in stand over there, or I'm going to put it in the platform, but we're not going to do it today. I appreciate y'all joining me. Happy Easter. Enjoy with your family and friends, and remember what Easter is about, the resurrection of Jesus Christ. I appreciate y'all. Remember, treat people the way you want to be treated. See y'all in the next video. Peace.